I'll talk to you about it.
Did you say busy?
They're only 50 minutes.
Oh, I wanted to talk
Up to 50 minutes. But no,
This
it's
one's a
supposed to
great
be a
thing.
10.
like when I get through.
Well, given this illustration,
Only
it's
two.
built belly.
I'll get that. Yeah, I should have called today, but I'll get it in there. Of course, I have to get state inspected.
Yeah. Sounds like golfers. I mean, not 15, not 10 minutes.
Is there? Yeah, of course there is. There's an app for that. We should have
I have
guessed.
another, I have another one.
I was gonna say, I couldn't get the app to do it if I wanted to, but.
John should be right back. So,
Okay.
Every now and then I can, but sometimes I get into this stuff. that
Well, how
you
this?
have this
How goes
permission
with
or
you?
something else, and I can spend a week waiting on what they want. You got it?
Hey, well, you come around, you want to, I want to do it.
Yeah, sweet. WSGA.
Camera broken?
yes.
that's
So it's turned it on.
It's the whole conference. I think that's the conference.
Yeah.
So do they.
I'm like, no, I turned it off. The other one's broken.
Yeah, they usually have big names, famous speakers. I know, no. They got people that support
Find him something to do. Or he'll find something.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat trainings and activities that they do.
Yeah, 3 of them. Yeah.
Like super excited.
John's here. Let's have a presentation.
Tim Hortons coming back to school.
You good? Yeah. Okay, all right. Just kidding. So it's the easiest way to get out. You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I know, it works out for the best.
Missed you guys.
It's a short visit.
Oh, it'll be. So there's no assigned seats. Yeah.
Well, there'll be a lot more.
Very nervous. You know, let's do it again. I think I'm not sure. I love the This is exciting. Still doing it. But yeah, we should definitely. Adam. I said it, I was like,
Yeah.
quite a bit for.
Just so telling you there is.
Somebody that's long over. Gosh, I'm gonna fish this one as hell. What's better? What did you say? Yeah. All right. Fresh copy didn't run all the way through. I finally got whatever I did, I did.
He's gonna look like he's homeless. He's gonna look homeless.
And then I also. Everybody will call. Anyway, I put in a ticket and this year show also. Never did get a call back because they don't know how to fix it either. I didn't even think about it because I yeah, we made the workaround. That's kind of how I got on this one. Like, I should figure out what got me in trouble there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have all my asphalt buttoned up and concrete down.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
As their demonstrator.
Just a certain.
Sure, just use the pool.
So, anyway, that was.
Oh, there.
I put it. How are you?
25 years ago.
It's here, we can keep right now. So maybe I'm logging in.
almost forgot to go.
Use different Gmail.
Kind of been scary.
Good, you? Okay. Nice to find all that. Oh, I'm sorry, Katie's trying to comment somewhere.
Said it was time. Hey, you're on.
I've cards, guys.
What you got? Yeah, Jurassic Park doing work.
Got a lot of leg.
Excuse me, hold my bag, sir.
Is that it?
I don't know if there is. Put it in there. My girl.
This is my prepared.
Yeah. you show me.
So it's missing an area. You up for
Everybody's got a great big meeting. You're pulling it. Yeah, but you can.
There, yeah, there was 6. like.
Yeah, she got there, I was like, but like, looks better.
Probably just about right.
In the summer.
Okay, so really her first, like,
Yeah.
full season.
And she got it.
All of them.
Somehow she got
Yeah, now she's kind of interested. I have like a phobia, but my hours are done. It's been accepted, and I guess I can't take it back. I see it's like a fly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Board of Trustees meeting. If you'll join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. We are down to, if Katie was gone. Okay, gotcha. Leadership and guests. Mr. Superintendent, do you want to dive into this one?
That's just, I'm sorry, that's for me.
Oh, okay, I can dive into it, good enough.
It's so I can take attendance and I just click on this little list and so then I can check off the thing.
And it runs all through, I got you, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's new.
That's just part of the procedure, it's new.
Okay, cool. Additions and accept. Anybody got anything to add or move on the agenda? We looked at it pretty good down to KC.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the agenda as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, next up, this is the fun part.
Yep.
All right, everybody came. School spotlight and student celebrations. Who are going first?
So Travis is the chairman of the board. This is, we've intentionally put this here, so we're gonna start with Maggie, if you would like to present first, then Jake has some guests that he would like to present here tonight, and then I will do Stars of the Range. So Maggie, we're gonna start out with you and your team.
All right, so I have invited Mrs. Qualm and Mrs. Riddle here tonight to spotlight our Science Mountain Camp experience that our fifth graders in Johnson County School District Number 1 get to be involved in. And so these ladies are going to take it away and tell you what Science Mountain Camp is all about.
Slideshow, the pictures of this part. Thank you for inviting us. Looking back, this was our 9th year of Science Mountain Camp. Possible through grants from Wyoming Sportsman's Group and Powder River Energy, and in collaboration with all of our local agencies, Game and Fish, Conservation District, BLM, Johnson County Search and Rescue, Forest Service, and many other volunteers, including your own board members. 5 of our 6 science priority standards for 5th grade were introduced through place-based hands-on learning activities at camp, and then they were built on throughout the year during science class. Science priority standards introduced are there, and we did activities that kind of activated the learning for the kids on all of those standards. Why Science on the Mountain, you're probably wondering. This is only one of them, but there's many science studies found that game-based intervention that provides rewards and feedback improves students' motivation and learning. So we let them explore and have fun with learning. Improve skill development with game-based learning fosters crucial cognitive, social, and emotional skills like critical thinking, decision-making, collaboration, improving self-confidence. So there's lots of science behind the Science Mountain Camp.
And then we had numerous studies that show the higher adrenaline levels, the epinephrine, that it enhances the memory. And so when the students are engaged in these learning stations with those activities and they're excited, all of that activity helps them retain that information. So then in between rotations, the students had the opportunity to come back and gather around the flagpole. They could kind of visit with their peers quickly, have a little snack, and then we would send them back out to another activity. Some of those would, during that time, they would also, within their group, work on a sundial that they were building as one of those activities. Some of the kids, they got to use the same tools that people use in their everyday work. So they got to be little scientists and archaeologists, things like that. And so they really got to see what can happen with science outside of the classroom,
Yes.
the career.
Getting introduced to the career professionals from all of the different agencies really helps the kids to be thinking, hey, maybe I could be a wildlife biologist or surveyor or
As a recruit.
And then the rock wall was one of the recreational activities that they participated in. They were able to go out into nature, collect supplies, and create their own little craft. And it was really interesting to see how they just kind of chose specific things that they wanted and put those together for something they could take home.
we had a lot more stations to come up with, and we appreciate all of our volunteers. We this was the first year since COVID that we had overnight camp. So that added a whole new element of activities and rotations and stations and getting the kids invested. They took a survey and voted on what activities they wanted to do, like their top 3. And we tried to slate them in so they got to have the ownership of picking what they did and not just said, don't go there or you go there. So I think it really helped with.
I think it did. Afterwards, I asked my classroom, so if you had a choice in some activities we could possibly add next year, what would you like to see? And so I jotted those down and I thought, we could use those to maybe develop the program a little bit more as well.
Using science ideas to conserve our natural resources is another big standard that we work on in 5th grade science. 5th grade students worked with Clear Creek Conservation District, and they did a water study on the mountain looking for macroinvertebrates, testing pH, testing dissolved oxygen, and then they did a second water study on Clear Creek down below. And they had to write a report and submit it. Each student submitted a report to the Conservation District telling their findings, and they were the only scientists to have studied those sections of the creek. So the kids were really excited that the Conservation District took their report and wanted to know what they found.
And this just shows some of the activities that the students got to participate in. A lot of the kids had never picked up a bow before or had the opportunity to use the rock wall, and just the excitement that they had from those experiences was really neat to share. And there's the crew.
It doesn't look like many, but it was 70 kids and lots of adults that we were really thankful for. I think that's all.
I would invite the board to ask any questions that you might have about the Science Mountain Camp experience.
Anybody?
It's like a fun time.
It was pretty fun. Counting the critters in the creek was really fun. I had no idea there was that many things moving around in there.
So Maggie, on my behalf, a little bit that I got to see that afternoon, the energy level and the volunteers was pretty amazing. So it was a pretty cool atmosphere for everything. From a drone that went up in the air and did come right back where it was supposed to, I, as a fisherman, teaching kids to fly fish, and they actually caught a fish with all the canoes and all the splashing in the water. Was like, they're never gonna catch a fish. And that's what they did. They pulled fish out. So anyway, I thought it was a pretty cool experience, and the energy level was there. I know a couple adults that was helped sponsored that were exhausted the next day. So kudos to you guys.
It was a huge undertaking and a great time. I think the kids learned a ton, so thank you for taking that on. I know it was lots of logistics, but it was pretty impressive.
Kids.
What did you keep telling us? Kids grow better outside, kids
Yes,
learn
that's
better.
mine.
Okay, gotcha.
But the weather was nice.
So Travis, just another quick point. What's so great about Johnson County is this, similar to the Ride Road, it's the community, the volunteers that put this on, and the teachers, and everything that took place to make that happen was because we live in a community and we have a staff that cares. So kudos to this community and the staff that put this event on. So
Indeed.
And I just want to say, I know my girls, when they've done things that we've done through the school, the outdoor camps, it's like a highlight. I mean, it's something that they don't ever forget. So I'm glad that you guys do that.
thank you.
Righto. Mr. Evans, you're up next.
Mr. Evans is next.
Excellent.
Well, we have two different groups here. And so what I would like to do is from time to time, be able to bring groups of students in front of you that have just ended a season or have just been recognized with an award. And so tonight we have some activities as well as athletics to present to you. We'll start with our activity, which is our pemmican, which just recently got a national award. So this isn't something that's small potatoes, it's pretty big. It's a national award of education, newspapers and education. And it's their work that they do in collaboration with the Buffalo Bulletin. And so I have with me Mrs. Wages, Mrs. Hancock, and some of our editors for this year's pemmican to discuss a little bit about that national award.
Great.
And they also have a presentation of the latest edition of, oh, my brain just melted. The gallery.
Yeah. So just to elaborate on that a little bit, we have been publishing the pemmican in the Buffalo Bulletin for about 10 years now, and it is an outstanding collaboration. The kids get to learn some real journalism skills, and it's published, county-wide, which is really cool for the kids that they have that much readership. And so, like Mr. Evans said, the Bulletin this year decided to submit the pemmican to the, what's it called, National Newspaper Association for community, tell me what it's called. The best newspaper in education. And so this was like national, and the pemmican won first place.
Oh,
So we just brought a few copies. I know that you see this in the paper, but we thought, this is our most recent one. We have a great staff right now. Tonight we have Kate Ramirez with us. This is Evie Wages. Actually, we have a couple of pemmican staff over here that are, busy throughout the school. So I'll wait for them to do golf. But we just have a really great crew, and they're very vested in sharing the student story with the whole community. So anyway, that's the pemmican part. And then, as many of you know, we like to give you a present every year, which is our gallery literary magazine. You guys can distribute those if you want to. This is last year's copy. We published this in-house. It's all student work, student writing, student artwork, and the students do all of the graphic design and editing. You can see our editors are listed in the back. It's a great read. I hope you'll enjoy it. The kids work really, really hard on it, and it's just a fun way to show how the arts are alive at Buffalo High School. And so, I don't know, do you guys want to say anything about it? Do you have any questions about either of these parts of our, sorry, I feel like my back's too, our student publications team?
Well, young ladies, I really enjoy reading the Pemmican when I read the bulletin, and I do read it because I want you guys' perspective on what's happening in the schools for things. So thank you for doing that. Absolutely.
Anybody else? Hey, well done. Thank you all. That's a great job.
And then we just finished our golf season with state golf, in the fall season of it, that is. And we have some celebrations there. Now, we wrangled 36 kids, I believe. Am I correct, golf coaches? 36 kids. And if you've ever gone out to golf practice, wrangling 36 kids on the golf course is a talent. And they do quite well with it. But here tonight with us, we have both our boys and girls who came back with some hardware. Cooper Myers was all conference. We had Orion Ostheimer, Jonathan Rosales, and Wyatt Cauldron, and Bryson Kolb was also all conference and all state. And if you guys wouldn't mind standing, they were third place in 3A.
Well done.
So on the girls' side, we had Abby Metcalf, all conference, Grace Wright, Paisley Stevens, Gracie Smith, and Addison Bettinger, who was also all conference and your state champion.
Yeah.
Addison, would you mind sharing with us your little secret about golfing?
I don't know. It takes a lot of work on the golf course. That's about it.
You can brag about yourself a little bit. So, how far under were you?
I was not under.
How far was your second place away from you? How many strokes back?
Seven strokes.
You were off by 7 strokes? Wow.
7 strokes. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Coaches, would you like to add anything?
I'm not sure where to start. This has been a great year, great fall. The kids put in a lot of time. We had a lot of kids that stepped up, especially on the boys' side. Bryson really came through when we needed him to the last 2 weeks. His effort showed up at the end of the season, which is awesome. The other boys, Cooper was always solid. Wyatt was always right in there. We had 5 boys that every week they just kind of switched spots, but we always had a couple that were always in that top or in those top 3, and then we had that 4th spot that you count always kind of switched around. And but as we kind of wound down, we knew that Lander and Wheatland were going to be difficult for us to beat. They'd just been destroying everybody all season, regardless of what classification they played against. But our boys hung right in there, and I think Lander ended up beating us maybe by 11 shots, which is the closest we've been to them all year. But the boys just really stepped up, and for us to win the 3rd place trophy was a feather in their cap. On the girls' side, Abby is a senior, and she's just improved and continued to improve and worked at it. And it was really nice that she got some accolade at the end of the season for the time that she spent doing it, and she earned that. The rest of our girls on our team were young and pretty inexperienced. We still ended up 5th at state, which was actually pretty good for us. But speaking to Addie, she has just put the time in. And anybody that's played that dumb game knows that's where you got to be. You got to get across on the other side of the gully from here to get better at it. And the state championship for her, I know, was on her docket from the beginning of the season, and she really stepped up and played really well when she needed to, and won going away. I think if they'd played anymore, she'd have just kept piling on and embarrassing the rest of the field. So that was fun, and I look forward to her, maybe bringing home another one next year. So thank you, guys.
promised everyone that they could stay and spend the next hour and a half with us, but I think you guys probably want to go home.
20 minutes, Jake, not an hour.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Going for a new person.
So, Buffalo High School, if you want to go ahead and exit stage right.
Everybody,
here.
welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We thought you were gonna sneak out.
I didn't know she was looking.
So Travis, something that was added to the agenda this morning, in relation to, the state, what do you want to say, recognizing of Teacher of the Year. So there is a video, Steve, if you wouldn't mind bringing that up. So I know Dr. Ferris was attending a training today, correct? Level Up, Maggie?
Yes, he's still in Casper.
He's still pretty exhausted,
from
where he's been. So Maggie and I had an opportunity to be at the celebration last night for Stars of the Range, which was I was impressed with because they've kind of upped the ante. It used to be in the basement of Sanford's and in a couple different places. So it's actually the state's doing some things to recognize it. So there are some pictures in the board report, but there's a video of him getting accepted if you want to click on that. And I want to make sure that we celebrated that here tonight, if it'll open.
Marty, we need your password.
Wow.
If you haven't been to that new facility in Casper named The Ranch yet, it is really cool. Yeah, right across from the event center. I don't know what they plan on doing there.
How about this? We'll just let everybody link in.
Yeah, we can.
Watch
Yeah,
the video and go from there. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yep.
So.
A great celebration. That's really. It's all right. We'll just keep going, guys. Thank you very much. All right, next up, we got consent agenda. Can I get a motion to act on the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda presented.
Got a motion and a second. Lynette and Marcia. Discussion. Anybody got discussion?
So, Mr. Chairman,
Please.
We have two individuals hired as assistant boys basketball coaches. Would I assume that one is a JV and one is a freshman?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so is Mr. Rule the freshman?
Which is
I guess Dave. I'm not clarified with that, but they're both based on them getting their certification. But that's a question I can reach out to the head coach and find out what they're
Just curious. Okay, thank you, sir.
Anybody got anything else in consent? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Okay, unanimous. Action items. We have got a budget amendment. First thing up is the budget amendment. Leslie walked us through this down in Casey at the work session. Anybody got questions? Anybody need additional information? Yes, in the motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendment resolution as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. We reversed it, Marcia and Lynette. Discussion on the budget
Would
resolution.
you be willing to just give a quick summary for the public on that, Leslie? You don't have to walk through it like the other night, but.
Yes, thank you. So what you see in front of you is strictly a clerical adjustment. We're required by the state to budget for by function, and so we had to align the expenses with the budget coding, and so that's what we're doing here. We did not change the bottom line in any of those in the totals. It's strictly just within those amounts. We're just restructuring by function and reallocating those amounts based on the actual expenses.
Very good.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anybody else? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approving the resolution authorizing intra-fund function budget amendments for 24-25? Resolution number 20260120-22, budget resolution. Signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Policy revisions. We have before us GCBDD and GCBDE. Did I get that right? Yep. Would entertain a motion.
So I'll make a motion to approve policy GCBDD, paid bereavement leave, as presented.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Dave and Reed. Discussion on this one. The paid bereavement, we didn't change a ton here. In a timely fashion, went to 30 days.
I'd just like to say this is pretty amazing. Because
Yeah.
I work at a great company, but it's nothing even this close to this.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Any other discussion on GCBDD? Here. No. Okay. Hearing none, all in favor of approving GCBDD as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right. A motion for GCBDE, paid jury duty and subpoena leave.
So moved.
Second.
And a second, Dave and Marcia. Yep. Anybody got discussion on this one? I see a yellow highlight, and that's it.
So for me, Travis, it's just common sense that you're not gonna say you're on jury duty. You're actually gonna submit the letter to the school to payroll to show them that, yes, I am on jury.
Perfect. That makes great sense. Anything else on this one? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay. We're on a roll. Leadership Governance 2.6 here, I should notice I said that out loud. Revision, we talked this one over at the work session. We're gonna make one change by striking item 3, so we better align with the superintendent's job, our jobs. Can I get a motion on Leadership Governance 2.6, instruction?
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second, Marcia? Is that you? Okay. Lynette and Marcia, motion and second. Discussion on this one. We talked about it. The one that's getting struck out was the board will report to the community the status of education in the district annually. And the discussion at work session was we're reporting this all the time. We bring up our test scores almost every meeting in our school performance reviews. So we think we're doing that so often that the annually wasn't necessary and decided to strike it out.
Yeah, I think the other thing we brought up is, we report annually to the newspaper circulation, and so we probably, not annually, we probably do it bi-weekly or weekly.
Yes, fairly often. Anybody got anything else on that one? Okay, all in favor of changing 2.6 instructions, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Righto.
Travis, I'll make a motion to approve the rental increase on the housing units that the Johnson County School District number 1 owns.
Okay. I got a motion?
Second.
And a second. Dave and Reed. Okay, this is the one we ran through about upping the rent in the teacherages by $100 a month for the standards, $125 if the renter has a single dog, and $150 if there was more than one dog. And we're mostly doing that to offset the costs of lawn care and maintenance. Oh yeah, you're right. The motion would not be active till January of 2026. So we're gonna warn all of the current occupants that that's coming. It won't change till January. Anybody got discussion on this one?
Travis, I did have a question about if you have a service dog, and I looked into that, and you, to my knowledge, by law, you cannot charge extra if it's a service dog.
It's a registered service dog. Okay.
But just letting you know, in case somebody said they have one, you might have to look into it.
Yeah, keyword you said there, Dave, is registered.
Right. Any other discussion on this one? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approving the rental increase, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Right. Okay, next up, WSBA Conference Delegate Member. This is the annual school board convention in November in Casper. We need voting members. Well, we need a voting member. A district our size needs one voting member.
So I'll make a motion to have Lynette do that as you have done in the past, did a great job. So I will make a motion to appoint Lynette as our voting member.
Excellent. And a second, Dave and Casey. Discussion on this one? Thank you for your service. We appreciate you taking this on. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Righto.
So with that being said, we don't have the resolutions in front of us, but that's something that will be coming once it goes through the School Boards Association. So just gonna let you know, there's always a time crunch from our meeting to this. So as soon as it's available to me, I will send a document out to you as a board with summarizing the School Boards Association recommendation and my thoughts. And then we'll bring that back to the work session and we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we've got the superintendent annual evaluation. We've gone through the process. We've looked at the final numbers at the work session. So I think we just need to motion to approve the evaluation as it was presented at the work session.
I'll make a motion to approve the annual superintendent evaluation.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Annette and Marcia, discussion on this one? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, report time.
All right, Travis is the chair.
Please.
So Maggie, you were the spotlight of the month. Does anybody have any questions for Maggie? And then we turn it over to the rest of the principals.
Anyone got questions? Pete? I think it was covered well. Anybody for questions for any of the principals?
Mr. Chair, I have a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
And I guess, yeah, I will go to Maggie. My question was either for Ron or John, since they were going to that PLC training. It's just a terminology thing. I've heard it several times talking about different cohorts. And I'm just curious what a cohort
Clarify
is.
that for you. Okay, so I believe that Craig took cohort 4, 5. Was that a 4 or 5?
Sure.
I think you were 5 because I was 6. So Craig took cohort 5 now 4 years ago, and they participated in 2 years of the coaching academy. And then I took cohort 6 starting last year, and then we're in year 2 for cohort 6. And year 2 involves our virtual follow-up. So I've been talking about those in the last couple of board reports. We had 4 weeks of virtual training on common formative assessments as our first part of year 2 of cohort 6. So the cohort that's going now at Clear Creek Middle School and Meadowlark Elementary School is cohort 7. And I think that you went, Jake, KC went, but it was
KC,
with
it was a long time ago.
Mr. Moss.
Moss started it, and it was the second phase of that.
So was that like cohort
And that
1?
was cohort 1.
KC school actually kicked us all off here in Johnson County by going
First
to the
class,
the
first cohort.
Yeah, they went first for sure. So schools in Johnson County School District have been involved in these PLC coaching academies now for quite a few years, and it's 2 years of training every time you take a cohort. So the reason why Cloud Peak went another cohort is because we had some changing of the guards in our leadership team, and so it was in high school. I went last year as well. Does that help a little bit? Okay.
Yeah, I understand what the different cohorts are.
Shooting for cohort 15.
Cohort 15? Yeah. Mike, I wanted to thank you for the shirt.
Yes.
But I also was wondering if you could explain a little bit more about it. I mean, the logo is really cool. Who came up with it?
Well, glad you enjoyed the shirts.
Yes.
No, that's just something that we were talking about, and Jake and I moving forward in the spirit of collaboration and realizing that some of our New West students are Bison too. We thought it would be cool to put together one logo that represented all of us together. And I mocked something up and showed it to a couple students, and they said, "Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd wear that." And so, since I had the teenage stamp of approval, I thought,
It's hard to
it's
get.
got to be okay. Yeah, so it seems like it was a pretty big hit. All of our students got the shirts, and we're excited to ride on a float in the parade. There was over half of our school on the float.
That's awesome.
And some of them had never been in a parade before, so they were thinking that was pretty neat. But no, I thank the BHS staff and Mr. Evans and everybody for making this renewed spirit of collaboration seem like a seamless thing. So it's been really good. Have our we had several New West students at the homecoming dance, students enjoying all the festivities. So really good. I think we'll make this a thing each year if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job, both of you getting that together.
Next would be Liz. At the work session, you were talking about having the mentor from CORE coming in. Was that last week or this week?
It was last week. We
I just
had her
wanted to
come
see
in
how
and she
that went.
did observations of the teachers on Wednesday. And then we sat and discussed some of the things that she saw in the classroom. And all day Thursday, she did some intensive training with us on how we could beef up our Tier 1 instruction. It was actually so productive and helped me to relax as the administrator, because you can walk in and see that the Tier 1 instruction was lacking a little bit, but to go to experienced teachers and say, hey, you need to beef up your Tier 1 instruction, very difficult, right? And they all came to the realization on their own through that instruction with Charlene. So I just went, okay, we're on a good path. And she set up good goals for them. She's going to be back October 27th and 28th. When she comes on the 27th, she's going to be doing a co-teaching exercise with each of those teachers. There's 7 or 8 of the teachers that are in there. She's going to co-teach a lesson with each of them and then do another day of professional development. They all chose as a group 2 different things that she presented to us to be implementing in the classrooms across curricular. So all content areas are going to be using some of the same strategies. We got done a little bit early, and so I took that as a, hey, you know what? You guys are done? Get out of here an hour early today. None of them left. They actually, and I just went, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure I would have ran for the door after a long day, couple of days, and they did not. They met as a group, came up with some common anchor charts to hang in their classrooms, and got a plan going for how they're going to start beefing up that instruction already. So I call that a win.
Absolutely.
In and of itself.
Thanks for sharing. And Jake,
yeah.
In your report, you used the term, 2 terms a couple of times, the guiding coalition and the systems team. And I'm just curious what those 2 things are.
Okay, so at BHS, we have the Guiding Coalition, which is our school's leadership team. And so the functioning of the entire building, when we talk about making major shifts and changes, that's the team that kind of comes together and implements those things, okay? So when we talk about advisory period, for example, that was the team that helped sculpt and put that together at the very beginning of the year so they can be put in place. Now, I have another group of teachers, I call them the systems committee. They're very analytical, so you play to their strengths. You also have a couple people on that team that are pretty good at idea generators, but maybe not the ability to come through with a system to put it in place. So after we get things in place, like the advisory has been running now for 8 weeks, we then take what we've witnessed and we take it over to the systems team and say, okay, these are our pain points that everybody's pointing out. What systems teams do you think we can do to change or address in the advisory to maybe take away some of these pain points. Okay? And so then they come back with some suggestions, which they just did. And so with advisory, we're looking at moving students specifically. Let's say if a teacher was pulling a certain student, it seemed like consistent 75% of the time. Well, why not just move that student into that teacher's class and not have them to where they have to pull them on the advisory list every day? And then swap a student that is always in that class that never needs to be pulled back over to the other class. So it shifts the class load piece and evens it out. And that's what the systems team looked at and made for a recommendation. So from there, they're now will be tasked with looking at that extension piece. So that's not gone away. We're going to be looking at how we can do some extension within that time frame.
Good question.
Yeah, it was.
I just kind of got a comment, a question for all of the administrators of how the cell phone policy is going. I know it's a couple months into school. If you've noticed, just been a few months, if we've noticed any, I don't know, pushback maybe, but you know, the ones that aren't, is it helping some interaction? I did see like the middle school sounds like they were actually talking at lunch again and stuff. So just wanting your guys' thoughts on how everything's going.
So from BHS's standpoint, I think we've had probably close to 20 infractions, maybe a little more than that since the beginning of the school year. A couple with multiple infraction situation going on, but nothing big. It's really helpful when the teachers step up and take the charge like they have. So I can give kudos to my staff that they've really taken the charge of collecting those phones, whether it's they saw it in the pocket or they heard it buzz or something along those lines. And they get it to the office, and the kids have not really caused any grief over it. When a student has their phone, they just automatically just turn it over, and the teacher takes it down to the office, and they're in passing, and we take care of it at the end of the day. So typically we hold conversations with the student of where should your phone be, and they all can tell us where it's supposed to be and where they're not supposed to be, and so it's not a big surprise to them when they end up with a lunch detention the next day and have to if you do it more than once, then you get the privilege of checking your phone in and leaving it in the office for a week. So they're not a big fan of that.
Do you guys are you like measuring the progress or just kind of taking notes each month of like the behaviors that you're noticing?
Oh.
I think you put them in a paper pretty well.
Well, I meant it would just be really good to like take note of the behavior you're seeing, just observing.
Yeah, qualitative data we have. We don't have quantitative data on the behaviors, like mapping it out from like previous years of how many behavior infractions we've had.
Yeah. No, I just
But
meant
qualitative wise, we have students that seem to be, well, my staff culture survey, if you look at the very back of that staff culture survey, the engagement seems to be up quite a little bit. We're at 80% engagement, it seems like, with the students. So I would say from that aspect, it's definitely impacted students positively. I will say one kudo piece to our homecoming dance. This was a comment I heard more than once. Wow, there's a lot of kids at this dance. Wow, there's more kids at this dance than we've had in the last 5 years. Wow, they're not going home. Wow, they're still here. Boy, I hope they go home soon. Those were the comments, guys. And I'm going to tell you, I do believe at some point the reduced use of technology and the more interaction that we have in school is a factor in that.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to just see like to have those measurements, so like if things start slipping or changing, you can always go back to that data and see, how the kids were doing and how they're progressing.
Maybe Dr. Hanson from New West, you guys had that policy in place for years. How long did it take the kids to get just down with it, not even notice anymore? Was it fast?
First year was pretty hard.
I wondered if it was a long turnaround.
And there was nobody else doing it at the time.
Right.
And this year, I've had one And, and just as a reminder, we send kids home if they're caught with their phone on. And so it's just, it was, and so one young person. But I've kind of joked about it before, right? Like the first thing that we noticed was hacky sack became a thing again. That's truly what, I don't know, I think kids crave that, just interacting with each other more, like we used to. But they get done with things, they'll say, hey, can we just step out back and hack a little bit? Or we've got a basketball hoop now, so, if there's a little bit of time, then man, I love that. And, other principals know now too that when kids have a little bit of time and they sit and they visit with each other instead of, the glow of that light shining on their faces, that's just a nice thing to see. But yeah, it definitely gets a little bit easier every year.
Good.
Great. So, Mr. Chairman, not only is it a positive thing that we did, I think, for the kids, but as I read all across the state, I've never read anything negative about the personal use policy. It's been good everywhere, and the kids embrace it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we did it.
Can I share a short story real quick? So we've had a few infractions in KC with the high school students. The junior high is doing great. But my favorite story is one of the high school kids, I caught him early on in the day and I confiscated his phone. And my rule is they don't get it back at lunch. It stays in my office till the end of the day. And that's the first infraction. Second one is a phone call home. He actually went home and told his mom he was thankful I took his phone. It was the best day he had had in school yet.
Oh, geez.
Because he actually had to talk to his peers. He wasn't sneaking his phone in classes. He wasn't distracted by his phone. And I gotta tell you, that's a kid's phone that sat there on my desk and I stopped counting at 30 Snapchats that he was receiving through the school day.
During the day, breaking his concentration. Wow.
30, and that's when I stopped counting, and they kept going. And so, I just saw the notifications. I wasn't messing with it. I didn't get to open it or anything, but you could see every notification that comes through, and I'm like, dude, that's a lot. But that spoke to what's going on with the cell phones in the first place. They are a distraction, and I think high school teachers sometimes they struggle with taking that away from the kids and taking that freedom from them because they want to teach them how to use it responsibly. But the truth is they're not using it responsibly. And it is a constant distraction. And so that was a huge aha to me that this high school student, and he's a junior,
noticed it.
He noticed it himself.
Yeah, that's neat.
And told his mom, yeah, I don't think I'll be taking that again. So good for him.
Yeah.
But if I hadn't confiscated it, would he have realized that? So it is a very good policy, and it is doing good things for kids.
Good. Well, thank you.
So Travis, can I add to that? So we had cell phone policies before we went through this. Right. The issue was consistency enforcement. So I think kudos needs to go out to the process, because when we went through the process, we surveyed, we brought a committee together. We came through some discussions of where we were, and then we piloted, and then we pushed it out. It's interesting because I pushed out that post from the Gillette News Record, which recognized that. It was curious when you read through that survey or through that post, there were a couple of people in other districts that didn't do the process we did and are not holding consistent, that I know they just implemented a policy to say they have one. And their staff is going, I wish we would have a cell phone policy. So kudos to the board and to the process, and more importantly, kudos to administration for being consistent.
Yeah.
That's where this comes into play. So kudos to this team.
Yes, I agree. It's got to be nice to be New West. You're not the meanest one now anymore. Everybody has to.
We're all equally nice.
Cool. Well, thank yourself too, Charles, because you're the one that brought the process with your admin team.
You sure did.
Yeah, pat yourself on the back.
Well done.
It took time, but we're there, right? We're having success.
Yeah.
Please.
Mr. Chair, I just, a couple comments. I loved listening to Liz's plan of improvement on Wednesday night. That was really exciting. I'm so looking forward to listening to everyone's else. I looked at everything and it makes sense, but I'm excited to hear it come from your words and you explaining the data to us. Another comment that I have is to Mr. Evans. I, this summer, sat on that committee for the coach's handbook. And I didn't spend near the time that the rest of that committee spent on that 32-page document. It was a well thought out process that they went through, and hopefully, there's gonna be things we missed, but it seems like it's going well. So when you put out the link for the coaching evaluation, I'm excited to see that you're pushing that out and like you're actually showing us that I really wanted to go through the rest, but I didn't want to put in all my information to go through the whole survey. But I appreciate that very much, because that took a lot of time, a lot of effort from a lot of people in this district, coaches, administration, and so all that hard work being put into play. I also wanted to comment to you on your culture survey. In past, we've seen just kind of a pie that looks pretty even in all 4 areas of, strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. And not the hugest fan of pie charts, but there's a huge change.
Yeah, you can see
and you can see that, Jake, I know that you're working hard and appreciate that. And those are real life things that we're able to see that there's a shift. And to me, that's really exciting. So just kudos to that. And then, I want to go back to the plan of improvements. It was really interesting to me going through the 3 goals and the 3 processes that everybody had to answer. And each school has a different need, like what they were really unique. You could really tell, like, what resources do you need to complete to get to this goal, and to be able to show the evidence. And I think it speaks to the individuality of each of you administrators, that you are taking lead and leading your schools with integrity, with where you're at, and with the knowledge of your staff. And that, to me, that's really exciting. So I look forward to listening from your mouths about all those improvement plans.
So just to summarize that for the rest of the admin team, Liz set the bar pretty high.
Yes,
So be ready. She did a good job.
You ought to make him draw straws who's got to go last, because we'll know what questions to ask by then.
I'm back first.
Anybody got anything else for the principals? All right, next up. Where did I get to?
So Travis, District Ops Team.
Ops Team. Questions, discussion for Ops?
Mr. Sink, you have a meeting, it says, on October 9th with the state facilities for the plan. Can you just kind of summarize that?
I was gonna bring one with me, so I had it, I forgot. This is every year the state gets together and we look at and make sure our acreages are correct. Our buildings information's all right, our land lease, if we're disposing anything, future projects, major maintenance requests, some big projects we'll have coming up. They bounced around in my time, and this is the 2nd year it's been in the fall, and they're changing it so they have more time for budget season. So it's a 26-page document.
Yep.
Something like that. We'll have the final meeting on the 16th. And Charles will sign his life away.
Yep. So it's a process. John's team does a good job, and then we meet with them virtually. We go through it together. John and Michelle and I sit down and just confirm. It allows us to realign projects that we know need to happen, and just also reaffirms the projects that we completed. So it's just an annual process, like what Connie and her team has to go through with an auditing piece, just what we're doing with major maintenance of facilities. So it is annual, it kind of bounces around. But I will give kudos to John and his team. I mean, there's nothing easy about any type of reporting or understanding documents, but they're doing a good job with it, so. And then I do sign my life away, not him.
I'll be more than happy to share it with you if you want to get together.
No, I don't need to look at it, I just wanted you to refresh my mind.
Just do it. What else for Rob's team?
Mr. Chair.
Go, please.
In the nutrition services report, Ricky, thank you for putting thank you for the we need to let the public know that we had 2 generous donations of beef this month. Dave and Lisa Bellis from the Bellis Ranch, and then Joe and Linda Foss from the North Fork Ranch. That says a lot about our community, and I appreciate you highlighting them. I also wanted to add, as a parent, I noticed some of the changes in the menu, and as a very picky 5th grade eater, my child is pretty impressed with majority of
Craig is
them.
not.
Craig is not. Well,
Craig is very disappointed.
yeah, it was honestly a topic of conversation amongst her and her friends, and I think there was one thing that they didn't really care for, but it's kind of fun when you hear the kids, like, the little things that they notice. I mean, you know, day to day, day in and day out, and I mean, feeding kids is really important. That's how we get them to do much, and so when they talk about that, I think that's great.
Good. Just so you know, it trickled up to the admin team meeting too. They were like concerned there wasn't gonna be real potatoes, so we had to have real mashed potatoes.
We have real mashed potatoes
Yeah.
twice a month.
You had them the other
Twice a
day with
month,
chicken
and
fried steak, right?
This month it's 3 times.
3 times?
3 times. And a baked potato. I was sitting with a table of 5th grade ladies the other day at chicken fried steak and mashed potato and roll day. And one of the young ladies, the table was very quiet. And I said, girls, you can still talk even though I'm sitting here. Like, I'd love to chat with you. And one of the young ladies said, well, I usually can't keep my mouth shut. I talk all the time, but this food's so good, all I want to do is eat. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yes, it is. It's very a very hot topic of conversation, especially in 5th grade, because they are hungry little beings.
Well, thank you, Dave. That was very kind of you there
no
too.
problem. So, if I can, Mr. McKenzie, what will you use the Suburbans for?
Okay, so our intentions with the 2 Suburbans that Eagle Eye Oski alerted us to was we have some needs in our technology department. They have 1 vehicle and they have 6 buildings. So we're going to split that out so that they can go and divide and conquer there. So technology has a definite need for transportation, as well as the facilities department has an older Suburban that I believe we worked on more than it actually ran this summer. You know, we kept it going, and they were able to accomplish a lot with it. But the efficiency with that Suburban of the amount of money we were putting in it. So our intentions is that will go to that crew. It's fully equipped to pull a trailer. So the one that you see going around to all the grounds with the trailer full of lawnmowers and things, I believe that's what John is going to do that with as well. It is hopefully going to end up being the backup snow plow in case one of the plow trucks happens to go down. So it's got some intentions there with that. So those were 2 well-equipped Suburbans that they no longer make because they're a 3/4 ton package. So they have the low transfer case, so you can go 4 low. Being 3/4 ton, they've got a truck-like suspension under them. So the plow, the towing, the capabilities with those were something we didn't think we needed to pass up. So.
Great, thank you.
And a heavy duty grill.
The Suburban that we need to get rid of is Suburban 1.
See, it might have been
For a school bus.
Yeah, it has served its purpose well.
Fairly impressive that you kept it kicking that long.
It's got decent tires, that's about it.
Yeah.
It did. We moved those over to the, no, I'm just.
Can I give a quick shout out to my crew?
Please.
As Liz stated in her report that that was the first time that the KC field had been painted like that. I took the team down there and Liz I wasn't gonna argue with her. She said she was buying lunch, I was buying, but, we went down there and showed, to support the kids.
Good.
And then, the first time I've seen six-man football, it was interesting. Mr. Oski was there. And then last Friday night, Buffalo High School homecoming, field looked pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So, a lot of comments from the community and staff, so.
Yeah, people
Shout
saw
out
it.
to my guys.
We got to go down for the parade for homecoming and see the fields right after they painted them up nice. Somebody was running across them about 10 minutes after they turned around. Oh no, don't smear the paint, but it helped. It was good.
So, I love these celebrations,
Yes.
but let's talk about the journey to get there.
Okay.
So the focus with John and his team, but also it wasn't too long ago that there was huge concerns. We were the first district in the state of Wyoming to purchase a robot to paint our fields.
Yes.
And there was all this controversy. Now there's districts all over the state of Wyoming. We should have got credit for all the machines that we sold because of where they're at. But that just shows right up there what we're doing with our strategic plan is we're looking for efficiencies, and we got some beautiful fields that are being painted by a robot that it's already, what do you say, John, earned its money back and forth. So kudos to this district for being one of the first districts to be willing to send a robot across the field to paint. And so kudos to you as a board for allowing us to do that. Yeah.
Good show finding it and getting it here. Are we running enough people through the CDL simulator? Can we start recruiting new bus drivers soon, Bill? I know you have been fighting.
We're always recruiting new bus drivers. Just to speak to a little bit of that, we do have a returning employee coming to KC, and we're super excited to go through some onboarding with that person, and they've agreed to do some training. So anytime we can get someone in KC willing to drive the bus, we're super excited about that. We've been sending a couple staff members down each day from Buffalo to cover KC right now because they've had some different people that had to be out for different reasons. And so it'll be nice to get that help there. We are skeleton here in Buffalo as well. So once again, if you run into someone in your circle who might be interested, it's white up, yellow in the middle, and black down, and we always win.
Anything else for operations? None? All right. District admin reports. Mr. Suber, you're first.
Lots of celebrations in my board report. If there's any questions, I'd love to answer them. Really like doing the highlight videos, spotlight videos of individuals.
I was gonna say, that's a fun addition.
I didn't realize the stress level it causes when you try to video somebody.
Yes.
But they're short introductions as we go through some of those things, so great opportunity. Change the format a little bit, so trying to do some gratitudes throughout that piece and celebrations, but one of the things I do want to highlight in addition to that is that K-16 Career Pathways Initiative, which I think is huge.
It is huge.
It's opened the door to Johnson County School District #1 also being one of 5 or 6 districts in the state that we will get an opportunity to revisit high school accountability with the 5th indicator with the governor's ride. Sunday night, which was yesterday, like it was a week ago.
Like a long time ago.
It felt like a week ago. Senator Rothfuss did an invite publicly to anybody that wants to work with him to change accountability K-12 to make it get away from a gotcha model to maybe more of a what I call the making education fun, but it kind of aligns to what we're doing with the work that Maggie's doing there when we're talking about project-based learning incentives. So again, Johnson County signed up last night with Senator Rothfuss to hopefully be one of those people. So this work is allowing us to change some of the things that I think need to happen in Wyoming education, so that's exciting. And we got people involved in it. And so with that, just the attitude of gratitude, and then again, a huge kudos to you as a board of trustees for this district being nominated for the 2025 Champions of Children's Award. So unless you have questions for me, a lot of great things happening in Johnson County School District number 1.
They are certainly happening. Board, anybody got questions for the super? Okay. How about the rest? Any questions for the admin? Hearing none. Next up, board level reports. BOCES.
Yeah, really uneventful meeting. They really talked about a delay in the Cheyenne Day program building that they purchased recently, and then a new director there. So really pretty uneventful meeting. So.
Thank you. BOCES.
Not had a meeting.
We have not.
Okay.
I think the next one's here.
Rec board.
Just short and sweet like always.
Okay. Questions for any of those? Anyone? Discussion on any of that? All right. Other business from the board.
Mr. Chair.
Please.
So I know I've brought this up before about the possibility of us going down in size on our board. So I don't know how we go down that road, if this is something that everyone wants, but being an election year next year, there are 6 spots open. It's a lot.
It is a lot. That's a huge
It
ask.
is a lot. And I mean, last time we had 4, 2 of which,
Yes.
or was it 5? It might have
It
been
was
5
5
and
last
2. I mean, so I
It doesn't
just,
throw us.
again, I feel like this is something that needs to be maybe
Expressed
pushed.
and looked at, I agree entirely.
Yeah, so we got some information at the work session to read through and stuff, and so, yeah, I think we should pursue it.
Agreed. Heck, maybe we gotta get serious about that and have the super come up with the, how do we do this? You wanna schedule it so we can line it
So
out?
I think we need to make an action item to
Okay.
move forward with that in the next month's meeting. Encourage you as a board of trustees to look at the steps and protocols required.
Yes.
That means Travis, you and I, along with the district attorney and Brian Fulmer, will confirm that those steps are correct.
Okay.
And then we begin the process so the public knows that that's where we're headed, so.
Great.
I can take that as the direction we need to go with that, so make it an action item next month.
For next month.
Let's do it.
And let's not wait till March when
No.
Charles is gonna be super busy
No crunch time.
figuring out recalibration stuff. We're just gonna align those to those things. Is that fair?
Yes. Heidi, were you waving at me?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yes, very good. Then if you and I have those discussions and get confirm that we've got the right order of operations, we can put together a committee to push that on through.
So we need to make it an action item in the public. You announce it here today. That's what we do in November and go from there.
Okay.
So, fair?
Good enough. All right. What else, board, from the board?
The deadline, I thought was Friday to submit for you guys being presenters at the School Boards Association. It was actually tonight.
Oh.
So we will know in the next 5 to 7 days. So if we get to be one of the breakout sessions, you as a board of trustees. So kudos to you for wanting to take that project on. So that's exciting. Okay.
It is. It's a big one.
Mr. Chair.
Please.
Okay, to speak to that. So, if I'm understanding, I don't know that everyone has checked in if they'll be going to the WSBA conference. I know it takes time out of our regular days, but if we do get a spot to be able to present, I would encourage each of you to try and, cut out some time in your schedules.
Thursday afternoon.
That's if we do get to.
That's the block, is Thursday afternoon.
Okay, on Thursday afternoon, okay. And so I guess my question for you or for Travis or whoever it's for, we're obviously gonna have to meet long before that to get our ducks in a row.
Just come up with their talking points.
I mean, we have a general list of like talking points of what was submitted in the application that I read over, but I would like everyone that can to be able to do a piece because we're a diverse board. We're diverse in our time on the board. more diverse in our, within our actions within the committee, or within the community, within our county. And so, I don't know, I just think it's really important. This is, a long time ago, we took a training and it said, tell your story before somebody else can. And this is our time to share everything that we've been working towards, to get this flagship moving. And, so I just encourage each of you to try and make some time.
And as a starting point, I thought if we all went and talked to our liaison schools and let's have the experts kind of tell us, here's some of the things that we feel are going the best in our buildings, then from the liaisons, we can come back as a group and say, here's what I picked up, this is what's happening. But if we'll all take a little time, go plug the experts and have them show us in their building, here's the coolest thing we've got going right now, this is what's working, then we can take that and present it to the other boards. So, Mr. Super, your thoughts, that was just an idea I came up with.
Yeah, so we listed out the bullet points. So here's, we have 50 minutes. So we don't have 5 hours. I'd like to have an all-day work session, but it's not gonna be that way. We're gonna just, a quick highlight of everything that we've been successful in, and then boards are separated at individual tables, and then we'll just pick topics and say, okay, how are we doing this? What are you doing? So it's recalibration. If there's 2 key things to talk about as boards is, where are we headed with the change in public education, and how are you dealing with recalibration? Because there's a lot of fear. So sharing ideas, what people are doing, that's the whole idea behind this presentation is look at the things we have in place to be able to kind of guide us with the upcoming challenges. What are you guys doing? And it's kind of a rob Peter to pay Paul, but if somebody has something super awesome, doesn't mean we have to adopt it, but there are going to be some good ideas. So it's a table sharing opportunity. Right. Fair?
Anything else on that? Anything else at all from the board?
I just think you need to let Marcia know that she was supposed to MC it is what we talked about. So.
Oh, yeah.
I freaking love MCing events, so.
Okay. There's nothing else? Anybody? Final item is public comment. Have no public comment tonight? All right. I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session for Wyoming Statute 16-405, Section A, II, and III, personnel and legal matters.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Marcia and Lynette. Any discussion? Short break first, and then we'll come back and hit this. Board, I need you to all to come up here and get a picture with the champion for Children Award. So gather up right here for me, board. We'll get a couple shots taken. Thank you, everybody, for your time. We appreciate it.
7:15.
Still not as good as Marcia, but that ain't bad.
Say, we should have like in person with people using those.
He sent us.